Okay guys, welcome back. So second part of our fitting here at the Titleist National Fitting Centre at Eagle's Nest. We've just finished the irons.
They're really good.
Really good, yeah, top to bottom, something for everyone in there.
Absolutely.
So we're going to transition into the TS2, TS3 hybrids, the utility irons.
Yep.
Again, you know, more depth to that offering than ever before. And as someone who played a driving iron for a year,
Yep.
this year has went into a hybrid just for some different performance offerings. I'm curious how you get on with this and what you think and what ends up shaking out to be better for you.
It's a good point, yeah. Because there's both kinds of hybrids, I would say. That the TS3 being sort of the more narrow style, and this being a little bit wider. And the driving irons are the same. They have the wider one and then the more narrow one. I guess I've really only tried a narrow style driving iron for the most part, except the Strixon, which was a little bit wider. But no, this will be a good little. I definitely like my TS3 3-wood. I like it quite a bit.
Yeah,
so I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
That,
probably feels similar, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was a good fit.
Well, I said to Ryan when we were doing the run through in the product that this has really been for me the best hybrid out there for the last few years.
Yeah, you've said that a few times.
I really like it. I think there's something in there for everyone, whether you're, you know, what is now known as TS2, which used to be, you know, H1.
Yep.
Obviously H2 and the smaller head, which is now TS3. You know, I think there's just enough versatility with the SureFit sleeve, the two different head offerings, the shapes. It really you can fit any type of player from pro to sort of, you know, high handicapper into that.
Which is what it's all about, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to start
with this.
We'll start with the TS2 down to the driving irons.
We've got 19 degree. How have you got that set?
D4.
Perfect. So just the standard.
Fairly standard.
Yep. Really nice flight off that.
It's nice, yeah. It's a little bit of a fade. I like it.
So, so we've normalised that there, Matty. We're still into a little bit. We've got, the boys tell us the 11 o'clock wind has just kicked in. So that one was 231.
Normalised?
Okay, normalised.
Nice.
Yep. So a little bit more spin than you're used to there. That spun at 5,000.
Oh, wow, okay. Gotcha.
The standard compensation after the fade.
It was not a fade. Felt good though. That's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty much ideal.
That flight kind of reminds me of my M6. It's similar, isn't it? I think they've got a similar height. Takes off nice.
Yeah, I mean that would be, I tell you what, it's a lot quicker than you would normally be with a hybrid.
Really?
That's 158.4.
Seriously? That's fast.
So more like the spin rate that we would see you at, that was 4,300.
Okay.
Something in the low fours is
that makes sense.
Really
I think the
good.
first one was just a little open, would be why it was a little higher.
So that was
4-ish is what you want?
Yeah, low
spin-wise?
fours, low twos driver, low threes,
Yep.
fairway wood, sort of in the low fours into hybrid. 245 carry on that one, which is about perfect.
That's what we tried to fit for before, didn't we?
Yeah, it was about that. It's about the carry.
It's quite nice.
Really nice flight in that, tons and tons of height and sort of stopping power.
It's a nice high soft landing. I like it a lot. It honestly, I'm not surprised. It reminds me of my 3-wood quite a bit. Feels the same, sounds the same.
Yeah.
Takes off nicely. I'd be happy with that.
Okay. All right. Let's. I'm really keen to see you in the TS3. So let's switch out. Okay. Into the TS3. So obviously more compact in shape. I definitely see it's more squared off the toe.
Very much so.
Yeah. Very different.
Yeah, it's cool.
What do you think, sort of shape-wise? Which one sort of catches your eye?
I to be honest, I prefer the shape of that one just
Do you?
because.
You really TS2, yeah.
But I think that may change because I think I associate. We've tried the last year's model that was this size.
Yeah.
I don't remember hitting it all that well, just because of the way I was swinging, not the club's fault. But I think I associate this kind of lower spinning model with just a little bit less control.
Because I think a lot of people would sort of, you know, well, if you're mid and high handicap or you're TS2 or a you know, H1, you're, you know, lower handicap, you have to be. That's not the case. I mean,
not really, no.
Depending on what you like profile-wise and really what works best for you.
I think I just, when I set up with that one, I just feel like I can, I don't know, just a little more confident.
Confidence.
Yeah.
Okay, it's important.
I think a lot of people will like the shape of this though.
This 19 degrees again, D4?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected.
You didn't expect it to be that high?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks flat, like it's getting through the wind, but that's nice. I hit that one well.
It was really good. Very similar to your numbers on the last one of the TS2, the ones we really like. So 158.4 ball speed.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, really quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
4200 spin, flew 247.
That's
probably
better.
My favourite flight, that one.
Yeah, that's really good. It's kind of like with the blades, where I would have expected I wouldn't have liked this one, but I seem to hit it a little bit straighter.
I mean, so in terms of how it affected the spin rate on that one, that was 3800, so we did see that flatter flight. Carried 251.
Wow.
So I gave you a little bit more out of that one. Still at 125 feet though.
It's quite high, yeah.
It's not like that ball flight's coming out flat and it's going to have such a shallow angle of descent that it's going to hit something and then take off again. That's coming in at 47-degree land angle.
Wow.
It's really steep.
So you can land it on a green comfortably.
Easy.
Super long par 3 or par 5, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
really,
that a lot.
really good.
I don't want to hit another one because those were really good.
I can see your reluctance to dig into the bag for another.
Well,
no, well, that's as good as it gets.
It's not going to be any better, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll start into the driving irons then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So hybrids, really impressive. Quite different in terms of the spin profiles. That's kind of what I took away from it.
Yeah.
So, you know, the two so you hit really well was about a 500 RPM separation. T3 flew a little bit flatter as expected, more compact profile.
That's probably what they were intended to do. Give the option for someone who needs a faster player, or even just someone who you see enough players that just put a lot of loft on it, I guess, and generate a lot of spin.
Definitely.
Knock off a little bit of that ball flight.
Yep, it really does.
I like both of those quite a bit.
Okay, so a developing category, probably the developing category, which is utility irons, and you know, having different offerings for different players. People are starting to think more about how they transition the long irons, or you know, maybe, you know, I've had a lot of people tell me, Matty, I just don't like hybrids.
Oh,
you know,
tons of people say
a lot of people say that, and that might just be the hybrid that they tried at the time was a bad fit for them. It just wasn't the right one for them. So kind of maybe tarring, you know, every hybrid with the same brush in that respect. But they've just, you know, made their mind up there. They want a utility iron, and having two different options in the 500 and the larger 510 is nice.
Well, I think this lets you enter this category if you're not necessarily the best ball striker. And that's not even to say
very true.
You need to be a very good ball striker to hit something that's that narrow, I guess, at a 2-iron length. It's quite a long club.
Yeah.
I have a friend of mine that isn't, you know, he's a mid-handicap player, and he tried my old driving iron. He liked it, but if he missed it on the toe, the Callaway one, he would really find it didn't have much forgiveness because it was more narrow.
And these are not just sort of irons. They are sort of hollow construction. They give us more sort of design options.
Right.
So looking at this already, we talked a little bit there about the pre-worn leading edge on both. So that transitions, you know, really nicely from what the iron set does into this sort of utility. We've got a significant amount of tungsten. Ryan was telling us that there's 95 gram of tungsten in, I believe it is the smaller head?
Larger one.
So less tungsten in the larger one. Wow. Okay, so 95 grams in the larger head, 98 grams in the 500. From a stability standpoint, and having that much weight to place on the perimeter of the golf club, especially toe, heel, and low, that's a real stabilizing feature.
So it'll make it feel a little more solid if you tend to miss it just a bit.
Yeah, you really have a very stable head. So we've got hot melt port in there as well. So if you want to, you know, sort of more sort of advanced swing weighting techniques, if you want to just adjust the swing weight of the golf club relative to the length and shaft choice that you have.
Lets you not have to use lead tape or tip weights or anything like that.
Yeah, you can do your work internally, which is again is a really nice feature. Yeah. You love the satin finish.
I love it. Yeah, I've always liked the satin finish club.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah, I think they look really sharp. Look nice with a set of blades.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we've got 2 iron in each of them.
Yeah, this is
17 degrees and 18 degrees.
510 is the larger.
The larger one.
Okay. Well, it's a driving iron kind of day right now.
It sure is.
It's seriously picking up.
And we'll play with that a little bit here in some different
maybe try to
flights.
hit some shots.
Yeah. So significantly different flight out the gate.
Is it
there.
ever?
Yeah.
I think I towed that a little bit actually. Flew fine.
I mean, that's sort of open championship, you know, flighting out there way flatter. So you've been kind of 120, 125 feet today, 77.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. So ball speed's retained at 149, carry 237. 237 carry at that flat of a
that's
flight.
a very different way to get to 237 because the first hybrid was around the same.
Well, projecting 21 yards a roll.
Yeah.
So coming out flatter. Land angle we talked about with the last one at 48 degrees. That one's come out there at just under 36.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
That's unbelievable flight.
Jeez.
How good is that? Sounds great as well.
Does it ever? Yeah. I like that a lot.
Okay, let's see. We're just
curious if that's a little bit less spin than the TS3 shot that we hit.
So the second TS3 flight was 3800. That was 3800 on this one.
Really? Okay.
Very similar.
They looked similar.
So kind of looking at sort of a tiered, window right now. So you kind of got the irons are coming out a little bit lower for you. TS3 into sort of obviously TS2. So you're stepping up in flight as you go along.
Yeah.
That was 247 in the carry. Ball speed was 156. It's really quick.
It's fast, yeah.
Really quick.
It feels like it's coming off quite hot, but I think the sound is it's nice. Like it's a little bit of a higher pitch sound than iron, which is obvious, but it's quite solid still, I think.
Okay. All right, let's switch out.
See how much lower this one goes. Kind of more like a P790 looking.
Yeah, P790. You obviously last year's TMB, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Did not strike it great. A little toey. Flew nice.
Flew great.
Yeah, just a bit toey.
It still flew 225 on a bit of a miss.
Yeah.
Obviously the sort of general trend of a miss would be you're going to get a little bit less spin. So that one still, if you hit the fairway with that one, it's still coming out to 256.
Wow. So lots of roll.
Lots of roll.
Much less backspin then?
2400.
Wow.
But the ball speed still stayed at 144 as well.
It's pretty good.
It wasn't massive.
It wasn't a very well struck shot, to be honest.
It's a little more on the clean side.
That's much better. I just pulled it a bit.
Yeah. So again, we're seeing you've turned that over, and that's playing its part in the reduction of spin. But we are seeing this sort of spin profile again come down. Up to 3,000 on that one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So from the highest spin being mid fours maybe.
Yeah. It was actually high fours when there was one at 5,000. Your first one with TS2 was 5,000, and then it kind of progressively came down.
Cool.
I'm curious to get a couple more strikes with this one just to see what a really well struck one would be. I'm expecting probably to see 37, 38,
something in that
something
range.
like that.
Okay. It's definitely hit better.
Pretty close there, isn't it?
Yeah, it looked like the ball came quite a bit up.
Where would you describe the strike height on that one?
Strike height on the face?
Probably
a groove low. Probably a groove low at most.
Right. 3,700 on that one.
Yeah, it was, for me, that's what I would call a really good hit. It probably wasn't perfect, but it was quite close.
246 on the carry,
Really?
96 feet average. I mean, that was like a stock one. You're not trying to flight it down.
No, just I put it in the normal part of my stance and just hit it.
Flight one down for me with this one, Matty.
So that was 96 feet. That's quite cool.
Really good.
Yeah.
Little left to right, something that just turns back into the window a little bit.
Try to draw it a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you knock some spin off that way, I guess, don't you?
Love that.
That was cool, eh?
Love that shape. So let's see kind of what we get from that one. So launch angle comes down. Now we're kind of on the range here where the range is down into the bowl. So that one doesn't look that low to us, but it's coming out 45 feet.
That's a good point because we're sort of elevated, right?
If we're hitting on sort of a level ground,
true.
That we'll see that coming out a bit lower.
Because that's very low. I don't usually have the ability to hit the ball that low.
Yeah, but I love that one as the sort of the little wind cheater, just to kind of get below the any wind. Yeah, pretty good though.
5 degree launch.
5 degree, 3,100.
Yeah.
But still quick, 152.
That's a lot of ball speed to come out of this, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Sure
feel,
is.
I think what I first liked about driving irons when we first tried them is I just found they felt very hot. And I think these do a good job of that. They sound and feel relatively traditional, but
Yeah.
it still has that like springiness.
Yeah.
I think most people want that. I don't want it to
Definitely
feel
they
like
do.
a 3-iron that's
No.
forged or anything like
No.
that. It should still have some heat to it.
That's it. Yeah, you don't want to feel like you're losing out on that department.
No,
Still,
I don't think
still
so.
designed to go a long way, and
Because that last swing, I don't feel like I really swung fast or hard at it, but that's a lot of ball speed and distance
Yeah.
you get from kind of smoothing it out there.
agreed. Ryan was saying a really cool kind of neat feature as well. So all the shafts that are available in the hybrids are also available in the driving irons.
So
from
no
Titleist.
restrictions there.
No restrictions. There's
That's
not
cool.
there's not iron shafts and hybrid shafts. They're available throughout, which is fantastic.
Is that the only brand that does that so far that we know of?
Oh,
or-
yeah, I think it's certainly the only
It's
one
complete
who've
set.
spoken to opening up the field and
That's
making
good.
more shaft options available, which is great. I mean, you're looking over here at the shaft options at the National Fitting Centre here. There's a lot of
Pretty
shafts.
impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really
I
impressive.
like all the lefty options.
I know.
Pretty much everything's in lefty.
Yeah,
It's good.
you're feeling like a first-class citizen,
I feel
Matty.
like it's more like being a normal citizen, actually.
All right. Well, that's a kind of wrap on our visit here today.
This was good.
This was great just to, be in-house to hear about the new product. I love that part of it.
Yeah.
Having, like you say, the options to get you to hit what really would work for you
For sure.
is great as well. And down the line as we start comparing models and things like that, we can do some more in-house testing.
That's
and,
right. You have the heads now?
Yeah, we have
They're
all the
ready to
heads
go?
in store. So, we will certainly be doing more of that in the next few weeks.
Yep.
There's rumours of an ultimate sort of bracket challenge again coming up with fairways and hybrids.
There's so many different categories now. Yeah?
It is, and the product line is so deep now. We've got so many options in the drawers.
All right.
Very
Look
cool.
forward to it.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you've sort of enjoyed learning more about the new fall line from Titleist that's going to be in now for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
And
right.
that's a pretty cool thing that these are.
Lots of time.
These
to
are
kind
not
get
sort of in and out in a short space of time.
Agree. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.